Journalist for human rights, and also Tony Robert, cybersecurity professional and digital rights advocate, serving as the cyber incident response lead at SafetyComm South Sudan. It's good to have both of you in the studio. Welcome to our radio.
Thank you.
Yes, and now let me start with you, Tony. Given the growing digital connectivity in South Sudan, what are the most pressing cybersecurity threats facing young people today as we speak?
Thank you for this opportunity. I'm really glad to be here, and I greet all our listeners at this moment. To go directly to the point, at the current moment, where internet access is really growing so fast, and many young people have been exposed to opportunities, and at the same time they have been exposed to risk as well. And one of them is the online scams that is always hovering around and going viral each and every day. I can relate it to students, for instance. You know, majority are searching for opportunities and all that. So with that, it exposed them to be like vulnerable as kind of people looking for studies, educational opportunities as well, job. So this is where now threats like scams and phishing are being out there, and they have been exposed to all of that through those kind of opportunities. And many have fallen because they are not aware. They are not informed. That's why when they come across any educational opportunities such as scholarships that are being offered, they will just go there and then apply, provide their details, and with that, the unauthorized user, or maybe the unauthorized person, will just use their credential for his own or her own use.
Right. And Ajith, also want to ask you a similar question. Looking at the cybersecurity threats facing youth today from a JHR perspective, but also from someone like you who has been in the media industry for years now, what would you say?
Yeah, I'll start with the issue of privacy infringement. We see a lot of private content that is not meant for online consumption or even public consumption being shared, and is destroying young people. We have seen recently how some videos, which I don't really want to explain further, are shared online, and those are destroying lives of young people who have bright future, and that leads to cyberbullying. So I even read some stories some months ago of somebody committing suicide. Young girls being forced to marriages because there are already some of their private videos which have been put online, and their families now took it upon themselves to try to protect them by ensuring what happened as a joke end up in marriage. Yeah.
Right. And now, Tony, I would like you to describe the current state of digital literacy among young people, especially in rural or even undeserved areas.
Thank you once again. We need to understand what it means by being digital literate. So being digital literate means you know how to use internet respectively and safely as well as smartly. And if I'm to talk about our context here, I want to relate it to the youth as well. Many are having access to social media platforms, and the one challenge here that is putting them on risk, especially on the end of being digital illiterate, is that they use one device to access their platforms with, and they don't understand like the risk of sharing one device. Others can also go and use public Wi-Fi. They don't know whether that Wi-Fi or network is secure or it is not secure. Few of them only knows that by accessing public Wi-Fi, it can expose their communication maybe at risk, and they can be able to protect themselves by using some privacy tools such as VPN, like few of them.
Now you have Starlink everywhere.
Now we have Starlink everywhere. Even I had an experience one day. I was just walking in one of the evening, and then boom, I started realizing my phone getting notification, because my internet is always on when I'm in the office. So I got surprised, like, how did this happen? So when I checked, I saw my mobile is connected to a certain Starlink network. Then from that time, I just disconnected it, and then I moved on my way. So when young people in the rural areas, or even in the town, when they find where there is free internet, they can just go there and connect their phones without having any knowledge on what kind of traffic is being taken from their mobile phones. So this is what I can say about it.
Right. And Mary, do you think this cybersecurity is also a threat to journalists, especially journalists who are always relying on internet to carry out their daily work and activities as they prepare to write stories, to publish stories? Do you think they're also under threat if they don't take care about that?
Yeah, because this is where the issues of disinformation comes in. You would actually see a number of young people becoming smarter nowadays by writing stories which, if you don't carefully fact check, you would believe in them. For instance, those in the rural areas where most of the media houses have no direct access, you will hear some stories of conflict shared, and you pick it up. When you pick it up as a journalist without verification, then you become part of the problem. And then another issue, the challenge also is they are faster than the media houses. So that is a bigger threat to the media, because when that misinformation goes out before the media outlets actually shared something about that, the time for debunking that, because what is supposed to be done is prevention. But the information goes out, by the time you are debunking it, majority of the public will not believe in you. They would already believe on what is out there. So that makes it hard for journalists actually to create content that people believe in. So the issue of trust, which is a major principle in the media, is actually becoming compromised because now the public doesn't know who to trust. Are these content creators who already share timely information, whether it is not accurate or it is accurate, or should we believe in the mainstream media? Another threat also is when you see these digital content creators discrediting or the media houses or the journalists, saying, oh, these people, they don't even know their work. We know our work better
than you.
We can even do this work better than you. So they kind of even justify themselves and make themselves look good in the eyes of the public, which on the other hand, professionally as a journalist, you have no platform to do that. You are not even allowed by the code of ethics to go back and say, I can do the work better. So the pressure of looking for accurate information, credible information, and timely information becomes an issue. One of the examples I would give is the shutting down, a temporary shutdown of the airspace of UAE while our head of state was there. And all these content creators, the citizens, journalists, and the public in general were sharing. The media houses, on the other hand, because they didn't have any official statement, they were waiting. And the challenge was, okay, if like I told somebody what you are doing is not right, and the person was challenging me, okay, what are your journalists doing? I have not seen anything coming from them. So it means whatever that we are saying online is true. So that challenge of competing with these people for the mainstream media to share information that can counter disinformation online.
So what do you think can be done now to put an end to this? Or let's say maybe try to rectify, to give a better picture of journalists out there, that they're really doing their job. Most of them, they go to school for years to study. This is their profession. But you rarely see a content creator going to university studying for 4 or 5 years to become a content creator. Something we have a bigger difference here. So what would you say can be the way forward here?
Yeah. So actually in March, Journalists for Human Rights did a training for the government officials on communication crisis or communication during the time of crisis. And some of the steps that we showed was that, you have to issue timely statements, because that way timeliness in the media, if we do it like that, then journalists and the mainstream media in general would be able to compete with the online platforms. But if we are not getting official statements on time, then the delays become. So the issue of, collaboration in a way of sharing information between the government officials who are in charge of communication or information and the journalist is important. And then the journalist also ensuring that you have sources of information that you can reach out to. And whatever you see online can endanger peace and security of the country becomes your responsibility as a journalist. So you should struggle when you see something like that, struggle to get an alternative source. And I have been seeing iRadio also trying their best in terms of getting alternative voices to challenge what was already online. It's not like you are going to say, okay, this is wrong, but it's actually putting the accurate information out there. And that principle of accuracy can differentiate between the content creators and the mainstream media.
Right, thanks for that. And Tony, now at SafetyComm, what are some of the common cyber incidents mostly reported or you recorded actually, especially by youth?
Yes, so the common incident threat that we do recorded at SafetyComm, one of them is related to these online scams. We receive a huge number of cases regarding that one. Like many users loses their accounts, like Facebook accounts as well, WhatsApp and other social media platforms, and that one comes through the phishing scams that they have been given, like through these fake adverts of job, as well some free internet giveaways. Recently they have been trending that TikTok has given out 30 GB free and all that. So that one has been circulating so many times in WhatsApp groups as well, Facebook. And recently we also received a case from WOW. A lady received a message that she won 10,000 USD. And now for her to claim that one, let her just follow some few steps, give some details, and then she will get her prize. So after giving her credentials and all that, by the time she clicked on that link, that is where by now all her credentials have been stolen. But she didn't know about that. So when that case was reported to us, we were able to investigate it and also recover it. And the second threat that always comes also that we do record is incidents related to harassment and things to deal with. There is this called it is called
it's okay, you can go ahead.
It is called revenge porn. So revenge porn is when someone harass you or maybe bully you through an intimate photo and video and all that. So we do receive such kind of cases, especially with ladies. Their privacy have been violated. You may find some conversation or maybe some memories that are not meant to be shared publicly are being exposed there, and there are times even they can be threatened that if you don't pay us such amount of money, we are going to share this with your relative friends, just to tarnish someone's reputation. And we have received number of such cases, and we were able to give counseling to the victim as well, because it's not just about a matter of responding to that threat by removing the content from online platforms and all that, but it's also how to encourage the victim so that they don't feel less value of themselves. And it's always good for any victim to report, like to speak, because when they speak, at least they will be able to provide the support that they need.
Right. And Mary, let me come to you. Do you believe South Sudan has legal frameworks and policies in place to protect youth and children online? And if not, what would you recommend to the authorities?
Yeah, so I'm aware that the data protection bill is still lying in Parliament, and that's one of the important bill, because even taking somebody's car plates without their knowledge and posting them there online is another private infringement of somebody's privacy. All these issues of the videos that are put online, and I'm actually disappointed because these are gendered disinformation. I was just shocked by the trending story of the young girl raped in Sharkat last week, and everything was changed to look like the girl was the bad person. Instead, she was the victim. And now how the online platforms, and this is not just online, this is how our society makes girls and women to be like, you have the right to protect yourself. And they saw it was a mass rape. It was not just one person. She didn't have the energy, she didn't have any power, she was overpowered,
cannot resist.
Yes, and still it was just gendered in a way that it looks like the girl was the bad person. Women, everything that is put online there, even when some women are now tired of domestic violence at their home, and they go online because they want somebody to listen to them. Instead, that information is turned to cyberbullying. And this is destroying our community, and the issue of legal framework comes in, because we need to protect this platform. I usually say that we have excitement of digital presence, having the technology to do it, but we don't know how to communicate. Because if I decide to take myself online, it's one thing to say, okay, I'm going online. If you see the people on TikTok, I even feel that the others who don't even know how to click that TikTok platform, but they call their young ones who already have to come and do it for them. And because they have no one to talk to, they feel now they have a family online. Not knowing this is just, even if it is written friends, those are not your friends.
There are people sometimes you have not even met them, you have not seen them physically.
Yeah, so that word friends, your Facebook friends, shouldn't make you to feel that you believe in them, that if you share your private information with them, they will help you, your frustrations and all that. So people now take advantage of those who feel frustrated in life, and they want to share their videos, or someone whom they feel like they want to destroy, especially women. I know how women are valued in our communities, and if somebody wants to fight my brother, they would use me. It is that easier for them to use me. So what they would do is to destroy that person. They now comes with information that they can share online, and then that is how they have engendered everything to look like women are the bad ones. So really, when these laws are being discussed or going to the level of passing them, having a specific clause on girls and women protection is something that needs to be put in. I also know about the Cybersecurity Act, Cybersecurity and Computer Misuse, which is also still in the process of enactment. So these legal frameworks are really urgent, and I would say that we can't wait longer to have them.
Right, and also I want to add a small question to you there on that. Do you think misinformation and harmful online content can impact communities, especially the vulnerable communities?
Yes, exactly, and it can even cause violence, because some of this information that you take outside there, if any of the family members becomes hungry, and that's why I said earlier that some families, when such things happen, like videos I shared online between a girl and a boy while they were dating, the only way to avoid conflict is to go for a forced marriage. And that is how the community try to settle it. So in a way, it looks like a personal online, but you will see a lot of things. And I remember there was even one court case where families were almost fighting, but they were advised now to go to court with the case.
Right. And Tony, how can digital literacy education be effectively introduced in schools and also local communities? Now, this is to promote safer online behavior, or you think it's not important?
It's really so important to adapt digital literacy in our educational system, so that when a child is growing up, or maybe an adult, that are not informed about the risk of online activities or maybe internet access, they will be able to know that. So that one can be adapted from nursery up to the high institution. We cannot just say only the adults are the one to be having that opportunity to learn about digital safety and all that, but to parents, even from to parents at home, they are to start by raising awareness to their own children, and then from there they can be able also to, the teachers can also be able to adapt that as well, to raise awareness regarding the dangers of internet as well. And in the higher institution, a curriculum can be made. Like I'm glad that recently ICT has been as one of the core course nowadays in secondary school. Like in Juba Diocese, they have that course, and I think some other secondary schools, and there they are really educating those students on the uses of internet and the dangers and how they can protect themselves as well. And to those who are in the higher institution, we know very well there is a school of computer science and information technology. So this school can take an initiative to collaborate with other schools in the campus to at least have a department that deals with ICT in general or digital literacy in general, to educate no matter what course you're doing. Like if you're doing medicine, for instance, does not mean that you don't have to, because some people perceive it in a different kind of understanding. They do think like digital literacy, or maybe things to do with computer only belongs to computer students and all that, and not limited only to medical students, but other schools as well. So the School of Computer Science and Information Technology as well in the higher institution should have a collaboration with the other schools in the campus, so that they can be able to also add that one as a course. Like if you're joining like this, it will be as a general course that will at least empower you as you are continuing with your journey as well.
Right. Mary, there's something I would like to, there's a situation I would like to bring to your attention, or incidents that many families would agree with me. In some schools, you'll find the pupils or the children can be taught, let's say, how to use mobile phones, smartphones, or internet. But when they come home, they start using this iPad. They go, especially in houses where they have internet, but the parents are not. The parents are illiterate when it comes to smartphones or the use of internet, and the kids now will be spending time with their iPads, and so how do you look at this, and how can this really be addressed? Because parents also have a role to play to ensure that they do not go wrong while using the smartphones or iPads.
And to make the matter worse on that, parents even aid the use of these platforms by the kids, because they want the kids to teach them
how to use
those platforms. So you will find a woman who is sitting home, and anytime the child or the children comes back, she would be like, I need to communicate to my people using WhatsApp, or there is a video of a community song that have been released and I want to listen to it. Help me check on YouTube. And by the time the kid help you to check on YouTube, you leave the gadget with them, and the kids will now go and search on other items, which are not supposed to be seen by the children. So we need to condemn that, because if you buy, now we have the children tablets which are restricted. It's good, because when you buy a child's tablet, it's already restricted which pages they can access, which pages they cannot access.
Right.
So if children have their own gadgets, they actually don't access the pages. But the worst part is when they use their parents, gadgets. That's when they go online and see all the things that are there without protection. So when we talk about digital literacy, then it is to also tell our families that it's not a matter of having the technology with you. It's not just a matter of having the phone. It's about how you use it. is about communication. What sites are you accessing? So all those things, they are not even known. So when South Sudan talk about this objective or the goal of connectivity to the internet, the question of digital literacy should also go with it. Media literacy goes with it. So when National Communication Authority is taking up that role of connecting South Sudan, they need to factor in the areas of media literacy and digital literacy, so that what messages can the media share with the public to help organizations that are out there, especially the community-based organizations, can actually be tasked to incorporate digital literacy into most of the community programs or awareness that they are doing.
Right. Now we make the conversation more interactive. It's now time to pick few calls on 0911 or 22 986 986, so preferably you can send a text to 13 986 986. بنتكلم في موضوع بتاع الثقافة الرقمية والسلامة على الإنترنت، وده خاصة للشباب، مع التركيز على السلامة الرقمية والمشاركة الرقمية وحرية بتاعة الإنترنت، وكيف الأسر وأولياء الأمور يقدر يلعبوا دور بتاعهم. I radio.
Hello.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
This is Dorpuk.
Dorpuk, welcome.
I greet you and get further in study. program تماما، لكن المشكلة شنو؟ لأنه مشكلة حاجات بقولوا زي ده، وحاجات اللي بقولوا زي ده في ناس اللي قاعدين في البر هناك برا المدينة يعني، وقاعدين يعني يستخدم انترنت بطريقة ما سامي. ألا الناس ديل بقول لهم شنو عشان يكون يعني انترنت ده يكون يعني نحجة في جنوب السودان، وزول الداير عشان نعمل شغل بتاعه في الانترنت بعمله بكيف بطريقة عشان يكون يعني تلقى الرسالة منكم في الكشف بتاعكم. شكرا.
All right, shukran. Yani, people who are aiding negative use of social media, those who are not even in the country but also outside, and also playing a negative role in that regard. Still, you can call 0911 or 22986 986. Radio? Yes. Nah, minumana. Demono.
De 1984.
CAC?
1984.
1984. Dar Emmanuel?
Jebel.
Okay.
Keviton.
كويسين ده النيك نيم. تفضل طوال سؤالك.
فإمام جبل أكله على كلام بتاع إنترنت وموبايلات ده كله بيكا فوقاتaka في الناس كله. يعني الناس بيدخلوا في حاجات اللي جاروا ما قاعد يشاركوا الناس جاروا. يعني زمان في بدري يعني كان يعني إيال يعني نده كذا كبار كيرونو شو حاجة يعني sama begini jamu bito jada zana kubar bito yuta ko mata ko mabaci makalan ta na kubar lakin be ga jada de kan ma be sofo yal ga dine su Facebook usuno na man ta biji kan be ya ja biti ja kan ta internet ta na da yal wa ga lian mun ka muskulin be kalam be ta video usuno o mun ka dare usuno amul calculation be mobile ya uji bu fail lo mun jada taro ude ya mushkila kabir telefona da jada mo furre siro baramen yal su kerale umur man mo bo chulunale tamantaka resende mai udlo mon telefonat idor me darja budun telefon de kuna aste kale ko mu mon ma ban video ada telefon taw ma rajar ma ba so de kuna ake terega shukran.
Alright, shukran لكلام بتاعك وصل في محله. 1984 من جبل. Yes, let's pick one more call on 0911-022-986-986 and do have your comments or your questions to our guest here in the studio. Today we are talking about digital literacy and online safety for youth. Hello, radio. Yes, hi, radio. All right, we lost you there on the line. Let's read some few comments here or questions on our Facebook. I have a long one here from Dico Di Andrew, who said, hi, good morning, Emmanuel and my mentor, Mary, and good friend of mine, Tony. I have two questions, I guess, in the studio. One, in a country like South Sudan, where internet penetration is growing but digital literacy remains low, how can we balance promoting online engagement among youth while ensuring their safety from misinformation, cyberbullying, and also exploitation? Where do we draw the line between digital freedom and digital safety? That's question number one. Now, the second question is, with the increase in online harassment, hacking, and also surveillance risk, especially targeting journalists, activists, and young people, how can young South Sudanese be empowered to protect their digital rights and privacy? The existing laws and community support enough, or do we need a bigger movement for the digital freedom and safety in South Sudan? Or the question there. All right, iRadio. All right, now I come to our guest in the studio to respond to the few questions, but then that will be after this commercial break. Don't go away. Good morning.
نتاكم في جنوب السودان.
This is iRadio. When contributing to a topic on the radio, please avoid statements that may incite or promote hate. We encourage constructive points of views and criticisms that aim at providing solutions to problems facing the country. We do not want rumor-mongering or information that is regarded as hearsays. We advocate for messages of peace and unity among the people of South Sudan. This is iRadio, your eye on South Sudan.
You tuned in and locked on to the eye of South Sudan, and it's a brand new dawn.
Right, and welcome back from the break. We have about 12 minutes now to wind up. We have a number of questions from Todd Pook, and then 1984, and then Diko D. Andrew. So who wants to start first? Yes, Mary, you can respond.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks to our listeners for their questions and comments, and they are all in place. And I would start with the first one. Yes, those who are actually aiding the issue of sending, sharing, those information that are hurtful, they need to be held accountable. And this is where the question of the legal framework, which we discussed earlier, comes in.
Right.
South Sudan even have been trying, I know Tony will expand on that, to report some of the pages that are actually either spreading misinformation, disinformation, and hate speech to maybe Facebook or the responsible institutions of the other social media platforms. But the questions arise, how do you report when you have no legal framework to justify that whatever this person has done is actually treated as a crime under Article ABCD of our legal framework.
Yes.
So this is why the question of having the legal framework is in place is critical. And then we have a responsibility. I'll connect this to the question of DICO. We have a responsibility as young people who are online, to use the Facebook community rules. Whereby if somebody has actually violated one of the community rules, you can report them. And this need a bigger movement, We need to come together as younger people, and if there are pages we have already identified as spreading harmful information, these are pages that we can report in a bigger group. And if we have one person being reported by 10 or 100 people, that page will come down. But now we just see those pages, and then we fear even to report them when we know that they are endangering our communities. And the parental guides, the question asked by 1984 of, parents should not allow their kids to use their gadgets, is the question of the parental guides. And we now have a society whereby the younger generations are actually more educated Well, they are the ones who are educated than their own parents. So this is where parental guides become a challenge, because the parents also want to use their kids now to learn from them. But I would caution that please know the limits of how to use your children to teach you things that you would want to know. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Yes, Tony.
Thank you once again. I will start by answering questions for Dico as well. When we talk about digital safety, there are some basic principles that we have to understand as well. And in cybersecurity, that is called CIA as an abbreviation, but it stands for confidentiality, integrity, as well availability. So that, what does that mean? Mean you being as an end user or as an individual, you have the right to only access information or the properties that belongs to you, as your gadgets can be like mobile phones, laptops, network system, whatsoever you have at home that belongs to you. You're the only one who is supposed to access that one. And if it is if that one is compromised, of course, it will lead to something else whereby an authorized user can now have access to whatever information you have been having and all that, which is not good. And if we talk about the integrity of the information, it means that nobody has the right to go and alter, for instance, a conversation or maybe a statement that you have made. If you have shared something, you will realize you will come to realize that someone else happened to get access to that and made some addition into it, and that one itself can compromise the integrity of that information as well. So when we talk about the availability, it means you being as an end user, you should also have access or maybe the ability to access information when it is needed, and whenever it is also required. So digital safety, you have to start by yourself. For instance, if you have a smartphone, you can start by setting a screen lock. That is one of the first step of safety. Like, you don't want anyone else to touch your property. The same as if you're leaving your house, you need to lock the house so that no one can break in and start messing around with your stuff. So you need to set password, and this password, let it be a strong password, of course. A strong password is a combination of special characters, uppercase and lowercase letters plus numbers. So you may ask yourself, how will I be able to write all this in one? Nowadays there is something called passphrase. Like, you write a password in terms of a line, of your favorite line, maybe a song, or maybe a story that you have read before, or maybe a course that you are taking in the campus, or something that you just like. But it should be personal, not that anyone knows it, because if everyone knows what you like and what you don't like, it can also be used against you. Right. So you need to use strong password, and as well you need to activate or maybe add another security layer on your mobile phone and also online platforms as well. This one is called two-factor authentication. It's a tool that it's always available in all the platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and all the other online platforms that many youth are using. You need to activate two-factor authentication, because when you activate two-factor authentication, it can help you prevent any authorized access to your platforms, and that one can promote digital safety as well. Now, when we talk about digital privacy, many youth out there should understand that they have right to protect their privacy, and before you share something about anyone, you should first think before you share it, whether what you are sharing, will it harm someone out there or it will not harm anybody out there. Like it happened, there's a case that we have received there. Someone they had a group photo, so in that group photo, he just went and uploaded that photo, and he cycled one of the members that were also in the group photo. Then he wrote a statement there as a joke. But that one has led to a real violence. Now that person felt attacked, like, oh baby, bull, with that text that has been shared regarding him. So to an extent, even the person who shared that one as a joke was threatened. And now we have to respond to this case. How can we respond to that, to such a case?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Very briefly, we have about 4 minutes to wind up. I would like you to tell us, how does the cost of data and availability of digital infrastructure impact people's ability to freely access information online? Because we also have a challenge of infrastructure that is also another challenge hindering people to access information freely. And I can see you wanted to add something on what he was saying earlier, or you can respond to the question immediately.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me first respond to the question immediately. You know, we are advocating for, more connection, especially in form of mobile access, because we have areas that have no access to mobile network. But at the same time, the few, because I understand that there are only 2.4 people with the smartphones. So if there are only 2.4 people with the smartphones and the country is already shaken by what is, maybe it's half of the 2.4 or quarter of the 2.4 is doing with the smartphones, what will happen then if the whole population of South Sudan is connected? That became a challenge, and this is the right time now for us to start the issue of the awareness. Awareness for people to know that it is better to prevent the crimes or some of these activities that you are committing online. And so women-led organizations, youth-led organizations have the right to move to the communities now and let them know, while the internet or the mobile connectivity is important, you should prepare in advance on how you can use, how you can communicate, what content are you sharing out there, which information do you want to access. And in other countries, actually, when I log into some online platforms like Facebook and I want to watch a video, I will already get warnings, if you are underage, to show that this is not meant for. But in South Sudan, the moment you just want to access any social media page, as long as you have signed up, YouTube, you can access anything on YouTube. There is no even any requirement whereby you are questioned, do you want to watch video, or maybe hits up of saying, this video has harmful content and you cannot. And then also people even downloading items and sharing on WhatsApp groups. And then the moment you open, these days I even fear opening anything because it may even come with a virus that can affect your phone, or you find it has a harmful content. So what I would say is that it's really important to ensure that we prevent spreading harmful information, and where it has already been spreaded, protection should be provided to those who are affected, and prosecution when we have the law in place.
All right. Thank you all. Mary Ajith, project manager, that is journalist for human rights in South Sudan, and Tony Robert, cyber security professional and digital rights advocate, serving as the cyber incident response lead at SafetyComm South Sudan. Thank you both for joining us on The Dawn today for this insightful discussion. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. That brings us to the end of the Dawn edition for today. Join us again tomorrow at the same time to get the latest on what's happening in South Sudan and beyond the borders. Up next, news in Arabic. On behalf of the Dawn team, Paulina Althe, Awan Moses, Darlington Moses, and producer Barry Johnson, this has been Emmanuel Joseph Akile. Stay safe, be blessed, have a good day.